They're a wild card team. The Mariners went out and traded for Luis Castillo. The Mariners threw at Jose Altuve because Julio Rodriguez got hit by a pitch and he's on the IL. And even Rodriguez says it was not intentional. But of course, first pitch of the game, what do the Mariners do? They throw at Altuve's head. We're going to talk about this, the trade deadline, so much more on this edition of the Locked On Astros podcast that starts now.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
We are Locked On Houston Astros, and we hope that you join us for a daily Locked On Astros podcast. My name is Eric Huysman. You can find me on Twitter at Eric Talks Stros. Find the show at Locked On Astros, your team every day. Brett, where can you find you at?
They can find me at H-Town Wheelhouse on Twitter and Instagram at Astros411 on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Always positive. We own the Mariners, always Stros.
Today's episode is brought to you by Vroom. With Vroom, you can buy a car entirely online and have it delivered straight to you, so you never have to go to a dealership again. So next time you need to buy a car, just grab your phone, go to vroom.com, and check out thousands of great cars. And thank you for making Locked On Astros podcast your first listen. We met, not thousands, but we met a lot of people at Minmay Park the other day, and a lot of people said great things about our podcasts. And so keep on tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a like while you're there, and go ahead and listen to us on Apple, Odyssey, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Check us out. And I do have to show somebody. Alex Bregman, he does have his hands and his arms back.
It's a miracle. We had a little healing ceremony for Bregman, and amazing what super glue can do. Good job, Eric.
I had to hold Bregman's hand for about 20 minutes in order for it to go.
And we got this Ryan Stanek ball signed. We did get it signed by Ryan Stanek. We're 15 away from 4,000 subscribers. Once we get that, we'll do the giveaway, one random winner. It is an authentic Major League Baseball. It's got Manfred's autograph, his facsimile signature on there, but it is inauthentic. It's not some league ball, some little league ball. So get us to 15 more subscribers, 4,000, and we'll get that given away.
And thank you, Jay Roberts, for bringing me a replacement for this, the Bregman and Alvarez back-to-back bobbleheads. You're awesome, dude. And thank you for meeting us at the game yesterday. It was a blast. It was fun meeting everybody. So all the new subscribers, all the new listeners, check us out. We do a daily podcast after every game, Monday through Friday, and we just enjoy doing it. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this because the Astros are going to lose some games, they're going to win some games, and so it just it's sometimes it's bad. But I really dig. I'm gonna get this away from my arms in a second, but I really dig this new Bregman bobblehead, and I like the way they have the Breggy bomb there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this safely over here, so I do not break it.
I told Eric, I was like, why are you putting bobbleheads right by your elbows? You know what happened last time. But yeah, I just want to reiterate what you said. When Eric and I went to the game Saturday, we met some of our fans, and we meet fans of all ages. And if you do see us at a game, don't hesitate to come up to us and say hello. I know I will be at the game Wednesday, an afternoon game. If you're going to be there, come say hi to me. I'll be kind of around the upper deck-ish area, but I'll just be walking around too. And it was great. I mean, that Saturday game was great up until the end. I mean, I thought we had that thing in the bag, but games like that are going to happen. Eric, and I know one of the things that people want to talk about right off the bat, we don't want to bury the lead, is the obvious, get back pitches that this rookie threw at Altuve's head. I literally think he was going for his head. Now, he didn't. Now, I would hate to think that a rookie is that vindictive, but I think he had orders from Scott Servais. To me, Scott Servais is a cheap manager. I don't like him. I don't think he has been good for the Astros or good for baseball this year. I think he started a lot of stuff. I think he's like the kid in school that will start stuff and get people in a fight, but he'll never get in trouble for it. Everybody else gets in trouble for his tomfoolery. The bottom line is this: the Houston Astros had two players get thrown at. The first one was a first pitch fastball. The second one was first pitch Yuli Gurriel. There's an argument to be made that that curveball got away from him, but there's no excuse to throw at a player's head. And let me just say this: Saturday, when Rodriguez, when Julio Rodriguez got hit, nobody in the stands cheered. Nobody was excited. You remember when we're in
Right.
Seattle? What do when Altuve gets hit by a
They
pitch? They
cheered.
cheer.
They
Oh,
got to
they're
their feet and
yeah.
they're like, yeah, the
It's
cheater gets
ridiculous.
hit.
Yeah, we don't do that. So y'all keep doing that. Y'all do you, boo. We're gonna do us, and we're not gonna believe for a second that that first pitch wasn't ordered. And how they didn't even get a warning after that second pitch just baffles me, because they would have tossed Dusty in a hot minute. That infuriated me today.
Yeah, I think that was it was too early in the game, and they didn't want it to become a head hunting thing at that situation. So they were hoping that it was just an accident. Kirby is a good young pitcher. He has pinpoint control normally. He just looked a little bit off, and Service was shaking his head and playing like, "Oh man, that I can't
Of
believe that
course he
happened.
is. Of
I can't
course
believe
he
that
is.
happened." And
Oh, and uh, dude, if you believe that, dude, I'm sorry. I got some oceanfront property in Arizona I want to sell you, because that's a bunch of BS, and y'all, everybody freaking knows it. And we've got some quotes from the Astros and what they said, Eric.
Yeah, so definitely a lot of them were not happy. I know that Odorizzi, he said that he didn't really see it, but he said that it was definitely not where it's supposed to be based on the reaction of the rest of everybody else. But I think that the biggest statement was from Alvarez, and Alvarez mentioned that he talked to Julio Rodriguez, and Rodriguez, and there's a message that Montero said that it was not intentional, and Rodriguez admitted that, oh yeah, I knew it wasn't intentional when he got hit by the pitch. He even stayed in a game, but then he later got pulled, and so it felt like it was over. It was an accident. It didn't nothing was intentional. But when I'm trying to find an exact quote, but basically in this situation,
Well,
he said, I got it. He said
okay.
the pitch we saw today that hit Altuve definitely wasn't a positive, meaning that it definitely looked like it was probably intentional, and the Astros took it as intentional. And even Carlos Santana was trying to calm the Astros bench from first base, saying it wasn't intentional, guys. It wasn't intentional. It was accident. And
Now,
so,
this is what I thought. Okay, do you remember Karate Kid? Okay,
yeah,
the final fight, Johnny versus Daniel. Okay, and like Daniel's kicking Johnny's butt, and he comes over. Johnny just had his nose bloodied. Okay, and he says, "Sweep the leg," and he's like, "But Sensei, I can beat this guy." He's like, "What did I say? Sweep the leg." Um, and he basically gave him a penalty point, and he wanted him to take him out. Now, I'm not saying Scott Service is the Cobra Kai, sensei, but that's what it kind of made me think of. Like, you go out there and do it, and maybe the rookie's like, I don't want to. What did I tell you to do? Look, maybe I'm making much ado about nothing, but I do know this for a fact. I do know this for a fact that if the Astros feel like it's foul and it's not correct, that there is some intention. Blummer even said it, a former major league player. Todd Callis even said it. And Blummer is usually pretty good about about making sure he doesn't say the wrong thing on the broadcast. He was very adamant, injected it right into the narrative, and said, this is intentional. Okay. And at the end of the day, we've got to move on from it. But when a player gets thrown at his head, I don't care who it is on the mound. I don't care what grievance is trying to be settled. That is not a way to settle it. The bottom line is you beat us on the field. If you can't beat us on the field, then go get Castillo, okay? And I hope the Mariners actually sweep the Yankees so we can overtake the Yankees, right? Go win your regular season World Series. If you make it to the playoffs, good. But you know what? The Mariners aren't a guarantee to make the playoffs either. So whatever, good riddance to these jokers. They're a bunch of bozos anyways.
Yeah, definitely. And the Astros actually got their sweet revenge, as Jay Roberts point out, that the Astros used that to actually score the 2 runs early in the game, and so they use they use the aggression to kind of figure that out. So it was good to see what happened there, and I'm glad to see that Altuve was aggressive. They used a double steal there. So basically, it ended well. I know that they scored 2 runs to tie the game later, but that set up for a walk-off. And we'll talk about that walk-off in a second, and then we'll talk about the trade deadline. And, at the trade deadline, you want to know as a player, you want to get on a good playoff team. You want to get your name out there. And one of the good ways to get your name out there is by LinkedIn.
Yeah, so LinkedIn has you squared away, okay? As you gear up for the fall, you need the right people on your team to help your small businesses fire on all cylinders. Now, I promise you, Major League Baseball teams wish that it was this easy where they could put the hashtag and the hiring frame on their picture, and then they could send out a resume or a questionnaire and then hire the right major leaguer for their team. But it really is that simple with LinkedIn Jobs. They make it easier. They help you create free job posts in minutes to reach your network, the largest professional network, 810 million people strong. What you do is this purple hashtag hiring frame lets people know that you're hiring to spread the word within your network to help the right people find you so that you can hire them. Simple tools, screening questions, make it easy for you to focus on candidates with just the right skills and experience. So you can make this quick priority list of who you'd like to interview and hire. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. So LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the candidates you want to talk to faster. Do you know this? Every week, 40 million job seekers visit LinkedIn. That's right, 40 million. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnMLB to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply.
What's not doesn't make sense anymore? Buying tickets from anywhere else but Simple Seats. I mean, the fees are crazy, and it's just I bought tickets for Brett and I the other day, and it's just so easy. So tell us about Simple Seats.
So Simple Seats is an amazing place to go get your tickets. And anywhere you go these days, they're going to charge you like a 20% service fee. Well, not with Simple Seats. Simple Seats has you covered for all Houston sporting events, all major sports in Houston, Rockets, Texans, Astros. And it's where I go to get my seats. And right now, if you go to simpleseats.com, you will save $10 on your first $50 purchase or more when you use the code locked on 10. That's promo code locked on 10. When you go to Simple Seats, it's very easy. There's no extra fees. There's no hidden cost. The prices they have are great. They also have zone seating, saves you extra money. What they do is you choose the zone. You say, I want that zone. They find the best seat for you. I mean, you can find your own seat if you want to, but Simple Seats wants to make it easy, wants to make it to where you have more money in your pocket so that you can go to more games. Simple Seats, no fees, simple process. Go get your seats at simpleseats.com and use a promo code LOCKED10.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and talk about the trade deadline. It seems like everybody is all excited about that. But before we do that, Alvarez had one of those days that you're like, wow, what's going on to Alvarez? He struck out a lot. He just didn't look like he was on his game. And I know Callis and Blummer were like, this is one of those few games where the rest of the lineup needs to pick up for Alvarez. But what does a MVP do? He gets the big hit when you need it. And it wasn't a home run. It wasn't a double. It was just a little bleeder through the infield. And so it was just a good hit to get the Astros to win. And in this situation, it was good that you had the ghost runner at second base, but I still hate the rule overall, but the Astros won 3 of 4 versus the Mariners. And so what else do you want to say about this game before we move on? We got to talk about
Well,
Odorizzi.
dude,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, come on, man. He had 15
Yeah.
swings and misses today. He had 8 strikeouts. How are you glazing over Jake Odorizzi, man? No
I'm ready to
love.
talk trades. That's why.
And well, here's the deal. You said a little bleeder, Eric. That was not a bleeder with singles.
I know.
105.4 miles off the bat. It was the hardest hit ball of the game, and it was a single. It was amazing. It had a launch angle of negative 21 degrees. But its expected batting average of 180. And the reason why it went through is because it was hit so hard. It's great to see Jake Odorizzi come in. And, our friend Ryan Stanek, who we talked about, signing the ball for us, did give up the runs, but that's going to happen with this relief group. Presley came in, got the 2 strikeouts. Unfortunately, they couldn't finish it off in the ninth. So Neris came in. Dude, Neris looked nasty today. His pitches were breaking. His pitches were in the zone. He wasn't wild. And that's what you need. If you can get these relief pitchers, Hector Neris, Phil Maton, you can get these guys in sync. If the Astros, for some reason, don't make a trade for a relief pitcher, these guys they feel will probably have enough to take them very, very far. Now, some people are saying if they don't add a bullpen arm, that they may miss the World Series because of that. I'm not that pessimistic about it, Eric. But today's game was a good game. It was a gritty game. They literally only had 2 players have multi-hit games. That was Yuli Gurriel, who's been heating up, and Jose Altuve. Okay, and then you only had 2 other hits the rest of the game: Kyle Tucker and Jordan Alvarez. So Kirby came out, had 7 strikeouts, but they just hit it. They just hit the ball where they were. I love this series, though, Eric, because Leibniz Diaz showed out and showed up. Mauricio Dubon showed out and showed up, okay? You have these guys. I think you've got 2 of the best utility guys in the major leagues. Not only Diaz, but I think Dubon has a chance to make major contributions during the playoffs. That's why they're assets to this team.
And Odorizzi said that he made some adjustments from his last start, and it looked like
That's
he was
good.
a totally different pitcher. And he pitched 7 innings, had the 8 strikeouts, only allowed 2 hits. He looked like he was in total control of this game. And I know there's a lot of talk out there that the Astros are willing to trade a pitcher for a hitter. And he could be the pitcher that the Astros are more willing to trade because he does have, technically, he is under team control next year. He has a $6.5 million, I think it's a player option that can max out at $12.5 million next year, but he also has a $6.25 million buyout. And so, basically, he is under contract for next year. So whoever trades for him does have technically some options for next year. But a team like the Cardinals, they don't like to make the big splashes to upgrade their rotation. They do like to go out and make those smaller moves. And this is somebody that I think the Astros and the Cardinals can maybe work out a deal for. I don't know who the Astros can get. They're not going to be looking for prospects. They'll be looking for one of their young outfielders. I don't know if Tyler O'Neill would be somebody that you can look at. Harrison Bader, I don't think he's playing right now, but there's just some young talent on there. But I don't know how desperate the Cardinals will be willing to be to trade.
Okay, so here is Odorizzi's here is his contract structure, okay? 500,000 extra for 100 innings pitched. 1 million each for 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, okay? 1.25 million for 160 innings pitched. And then if he's in the playoffs, all that stuff. Now 2023, a player option which includes a $3.25 million buyout. Option escalates to 2 million and a buyout increases to 1 million each for 20 to 30 starts or any game of 12 plus outs, maximum of 12.5, which is from 12.5 to 6.25 million. So he has a player option if he reaches certain goals in 2022, but they have a buyout if they didn't want to keep him. Here's the thing, and here's why something like that is significant. The Cardinals were on the Odorizzi trail before he came to the Astros. They wanted him
Right.
before the Astros got him. So they've wanted him for a while. And when Odorizzi has been good, he has been good. And I know some people say they want to trade him for a ham sandwich and hold the ham, and we joke about it, and we joke about bad Odorizzi. But Odorizzi on this team, Eric, I think makes sense. I don't think he's the guy that you trade to get much better because I don't know what the Cardinals are going to give you that is going to take something away from their playoff run. They've got a tough enough road in the National League. Why would they make themselves weaker for Jake Odorizzi? I just don't see it. Jake has got to eat innings in the regular season. I honestly doubt he makes the playoff roster. I just doubt he'd make the playoff roster. The only guys I see them looking at, guys like Harrison Bader, like you mentioned, some of these
Right.
younger guys, there's no significant pieces that they have. Do they have a first baseman they can give away? Do they have a center fielder they can give away? We don't want Yadier Molina because he's almost like that guy's like 80 years old. So at the end of the day, I think it's being mentioned, it's being talked about because the Cardinals still like Odorizzi as a part of their team. I just have not heard the terms from their side, so I don't want to speak to it because I wouldn't
Yeah.
I wouldn't talk intelligibly about it. But we should talk about this talk, Eric. Brendan Donovan, maybe. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know, and I don't know anything about him. There's another trade with another team that I would like to talk about as well.
Yeah, going back to this, Click kind of addressed this before the game. He said that we have to focus on putting together a functional roster on the field. Having 6 catchers, even if they're all great, doesn't exactly lead to a functional roster. With starting pitchers, I'd rather be in position where we almost have too much of that on the flip side. The question becomes, how do you strike that balance, and how do you walk that tightrope? It's a constant conversation. There's no right answer to it, but it's something we think about because we have Lance McCullers, who's about to make another start with the Sugarland Space Cowboys, I believe, on Tuesday. And
Yes.
so he should be returning at some point in the near future. So then you're going to have 6 starters or 7 starters. And so at some point, you've got to figure out what you're going to do because this rotation, just looking at it, Framber Valdez is 9-4 with the 2.80 ERA. Verlander's 14-3 with a 1.80 ERA, 81. Urquidy is 9-4 with 3.86 ERA. Garcia is 8-6 with the 3.81 ERA. Javier is 6-6 with 3.26 ERA. Odorizzi, after today's start, is 4-3 with the 3.75 ERA. You've got a lot of starters, and that's not even including Lance McCullers. So you've got to make a decision at some point on what you're going to do.
I really think that they can afford to get rid of a starter. I really think someone's going to get traded. But to speak to the game Tuesday, they just announced that Dallas Keuchel will be pitching against
Oh,
Lance McCullers at Consolation Field.
wow.
Yes, so, and I'm like I want to go, but I've got some obligations that I think that may take precedence over that. But that would be a game to see. If you haven't been to a Space Cowboys game, you need to go see Keuchel versus McCullers on the mound. That is awesome. It was literally MLB sources. Mark Berman's reporting this. This isn't me saying random sources. This is literally a legit headline. That's why I'm wearing my Space Cowboys hat, because I'm trying to promote these bad boys. You need to go watch them play. It's fun. Hey, Jose Siri probably going to hit a bomb. Corey Julks is probably going to hit a bomb. I mean, they're a fun team to watch. They've got electric stuff. Yainer Diaz, if you've heard of him, Pedro Leon. And hey, go early. Bring your kids. Get autographs. They sign autographs. They talk to you. It's a great environment. But, Eric, I think a lot of people expect big moves and expect every move to happen
Mm-hmm.
immediately.
Yeah.
And it's not going to happen immediately. It's probably going to go to the deadline, like
Yeah.
the deadline.
And James Click actually addressed why the market's so slow right now. We'll talk about that in a second. And we'll talk about some of the trade ideas that we've kind of seen floating around on Twitter in a second as well. So we'll continue that conversation in a second. But let's talk about BetOnline, because I wonder who they bet on the Astros trading for.
So betonline.net is the fastest and easiest way to check out all your betting needs. Find all your favorite sports and events at the number one online source for odds, lines, and games. Find reviews and news for every league, including Major League Baseball, NFL, NBA, NHL, combat sports, esports, and even golf. BetOnline continues to be the top online resource for all your sports wagering information, from live in-game betting, scores, and podcasts. They have you covered. Head to BetOnline today and use your mobile device and learn more about the action happening today. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Alrighty, so let's go ahead and talk about our favorite hangout spot, which is located in NASA. Let's talk about Hooters.
Yeah, so let me Hooters now is a great place to hang out. And before I get into why it's so great, on August 6th, we're going to do a live event at Hooters NASA. We're going to have giveaways, Hooters gift cards, Astros game tickets, simpleseats.com credit. I mean, so much fun is going to be had. Come hang out with the world famous Hooters girls. Anytime the Astros play, you'll hear the action. So what we'll do at 4:30, we'll do a live podcast on air. And then at 5:10, the game will start. We'll watch the game with you guys. We'll hang out. Maybe we'll have some teriyaki wings. Maybe we'll have some maple chipotle wings. But they've got a ton of brews on tap. They've got things like Hooterades. They've got their Daytona style beach smoked rings, roasted, naked or boneless. They have got a plethora of flavors, and they've even done things like taking trips to the Astros game. So you definitely want to get hooked in with the culture there at Hooters. Talk to Rosie, find out why she wears black socks since October 26, 2005. I don't have to tell you why. You probably know why as avid, smart Astros fans. So if you're going, well, where do I get to this live event on August 6th? I'm glad you asked. To come hang out with us and meet us, I-45 South, exit 528, for great wings and the best service from the world famous Hooters girls, conveniently located near the NASA Value Shopping Center south of the Baybrook Mall. So come check us out. Come check out Hooters and go see what the Hoot is all about, because Monday through Friday, they have happy hour specials from 3 to 6. Legendary Ritas and the world famous Hooters girls. Tell them that the guys at Locked On Astros sent you.
All right, I'm excited about that live broadcast, and hopefully we'll be talking about a big trade. And James Click kind of went on the radio and said that the main thing that's kind of slowing things down is the extra playoff spots this year. He said, we're still hopeful. We're still trying to get something done, but there are fewer teams that are aggressively selling, and it makes it a little bit of a seller's market. We're not selling, so it makes it tough on us. So technically they are selling Jake Odorizzi, but at the same time, they're not really aggressively selling Jake Odorizzi. If you can upgrade your team, your lineup, you trade Odorizzi, but you're not going to just trade him away for a prospect. He has too much value on this team to just trade him away for nothing. And so this is what Click said that he wants to work on. He wants a backup catcher, another bat to lengthen a top-heavy lineup, and perhaps another reliever for the bullpen. And he said that our level of optimism is not what I'm concerned about. What I'm concerned about is our aggressiveness and our willing to go out there and stretch and do a deal. That is something we can control, and that is something that we're focused on.
Yeah, I think that this is a chess match, not a checkers match. And I'm going to throw this out there since we're kind of starting to go into the whole trade talk. There have been, I guess, MLB rumors. Patrick Crichton from one of the local radio stations talked about this trade between the Astros and the Rays. And the names mentioned were like Jose Urquidy and I'm sorry, yeah, Jose Siri and Jose Urquidy, okay, as the trade pieces. Now, I'm going to tell you who they're looking at trading. I'm going to give y'all some stats, and then I'll give you their names, okay? If we trade them for a first baseman that's an excellent defender, 29% better hitter than league average, with control through next season, as well a 24-year-old former first-round pick outfielder, top 100 MLB prospect. He's actually their fourth best prospect, who has 53 doubles, 2 triples, and 28 home runs and 530 AAA at bats. That is KJ Choi, and Josh Lowe from the Rays. Now, do the Rays and the Astros make this trade, Eric? Bottom line is this. Those are the kinds of things you're going to have to look at. And as I've been on the Jose Urquidy trade train, I'm wondering, do you trade a guy that is 3-0 in the World Series? Is he the clutch guy that you give away to someone else and it hurts you? That's the trick to all these things. It's not as simple as just giving away a player. But KJ Choi is not a bad choice, okay? It would be to help Yuli. He wouldn't take over for Yuli completely. Any first base help they bring in, even Josh Bell, Yuli will still play. Remember, Yuli can play other positions. He's hitting. He's going to be in the lineup. So the question is, what player makes the most sense and gives them the biggest advantage? Does this trade push them over for a World Series? I don't think it does. I still think they need a left-handed reliever. I still think Bell moves the line a little bit more. But Troy's not a bad choice. But Lowe, if you're looking for a guy to contribute now, I don't know that he's going to be able to contribute now. That's the only problem I see with that.
Yeah, G-Man Choi, he is an interesting guy. He's somebody that has played well in the playoffs. He's played well against the Astros in playoffs. At the same time, the Braves are a team that you possibly could face in the playoffs. So who knows if that's a good deal? I think James Click, he'll have to think about this deal. I think that kills two birds with one stone. But at the same time, Lowe really hasn't really shown too much in his experience in his limited time. But Josh Bell, in his 7 or 8 years in his career, he's shown that he can be a big time hitter, and he showed that yesterday in the win for Nationals. Not only did he get the big 3-run homer to give them the lead, but he also played great defense. And so this is a guy that I think the Astros are going to focus on the most, and they do need a backup catcher. Nothing against Lee, and Odorizzi said great things about Lee. Said he has a great future with Houston Astros, but I don't think he's ready for for big leagues yet. Hitting wise, catching wise, sure, but I think the Astros called him up at a wrong time when he was not hot at the plate. And so I think he still needs some more time in AAA. So that's why I think they need a backup catcher. They need don't expect a sexy reliever, even though the rumor is that Josh Hader could be potentially had, but the Brewers are not going to just give Josh Hader away. They're going to have to overwhelm him.
Yeah, the Brewers' needs are a lot like ours. The Brewers are in the hunt for a World Series. I just don't.
Hader for a starter.
But I don't know why. But why would why would you give away one of the best closers in the game for I don't know. Like I've been hearing that. I vehemently disagree with the notion that Josh Hader is going to be moved anywhere.
I don't think
he mentioned that we need someone mentioned center fielders. Now listen to this theory. Chas McCormick needs to be the starting center fielder. Chas McCormick needs to be out there. If there's 10 games, he needs to be in 9 of them. Chas McCormick has proven this year that he is the best center field option. And if you don't go get a center fielder, you're not going to get Brian Reynolds. The Pirates have said they're not selling. Yeah. He's not going anywhere. So whatever people are telling you rumors about Brian Reynolds, they don't know what they're talking about. Number one.
I told you all that.
Well, yeah. Did tell me I haven't been on the Brian Reynolds train. I've just said he's out there. I've never thought he's coming to the Astros, but I'm just telling you they're not selling him. But the center field spot, Chas McCormick has done far more better at the plate when he gets consistent playing time. He is the guy that I think they peg as a center fielder. Brett Wallace is not available. Oh, no, junk in the trunk. Brett Wallace.
He may be.
No, he's not. Eric, stop it. No, he's not even playing.
Why don't we bring back softball. John Singleton?
Oh, Jesus. Lord have mercy. Okay.
What about Tyler White?
Eric, this is not one of those comedy shows, bro. Okay, come on, man. Now, Chas McCormick, yes, okay, he's 185 against righties this year with an OPS of 623. He also hasn't played a ton. Let me tell you, Chas McCormick bat has a higher upside. So you would rather go with Myers, whose shoulder is clearly still messing with him, okay? And he can't throw the ball right now. I'm just telling you, Chas McCormick may be your guy right now. I don't know who you're going to go out and get. No, George Springer actually is having elbow issues. He
Right.
actually messed up his elbow on a throw in on a swing, so he may not be playing a whole lot leading into the playoffs. Bottom line is this: it's going to be exciting because I think what they're going to do is they're going to come down to the last minute and they're going to get something, and they're going to get someone that you and I probably haven't even talked about. But I'm not going to be shocked if Josh Bell comes here because I think they're pursuing him. I think they're driving his price down by extending the time they wait to get for him.
Yeah, the Red Sox are listening on veterans. They haven't committed to being sellers yet, but JD Martinez is available. Nate Eovaldi, who's pitching against the Astros on Monday, is available. Christian Vasquez is available, so he's a catcher. So
So when
Bogarts
I've
has
been
been told
against
he's not going to be traded though.
so when I've been against Vasquez, I was thinking of Verdugo. And
Okay,
when I was like, I don't like Vasquez, I was thinking Verdugo. For some reason I got those two mixed up. Christian Vasquez wouldn't be a bad
yeah,
backup option, but JD Martinez isn't coming here because
no,
the Astros like pissed him
no.
off a long time ago. He's not coming here, Eric. We don't need a DH. That's all
I
he
know,
is.
but
He
not
doesn't play
because
in
they pissed him off. I don't think that's
Eric.
why.
He would never play in Houston again. The way that guy plays motivated at the plate and gets hits on us and just grinds on us. No, and then Evaldi, he says, I'm sorry, he's a local guy, but he's talked so much crap against
No,
the Astros.
no, I'm
I
not
don't want
saying.
Nathan. Yeah,
I was just saying the Reds are doing a fire
the
sale.
Red
I
Sox.
wasn't
Oh
saying
no, oh no, I
the
know, and
Red
I'm
Sox.
just
Yeah,
saying,
yeah,
dude, but that's what's crazy. Like they were freaking red hot at one point, and they were, you know, busting out expectations, and all of a sudden they like that is the weirdest team I think in the entire league because
yeah.
you never know what you're gonna get. You know,
And Joey Gallo apparently has a trade market, and this is what John Heyman said about Josh Hader. Teams have been calling on Josh Hader. No indication that he's particularly available, but the Brewers usually seem willing to listen in case. He hasn't given up a earned run in the regular season in 11 months, but has a 12.54 ERA this month. So take that what you will, but Josh Hader is the guy that the Astros let get away. The one that got
well,
away by
someone
Katy Perry.
that's right. Someone said I'm a little feisty. You should have heard my rant earlier about Jordan Alvarez not playing left field enough. So I won't even go there because then I'll have to take my blood pressure medication. So, anyways, I don't even think else because Eric, I think we're gonna have some exciting stuff. So y'all need to stay tuned and make sure you subscribe. We're 15 subscribers away. Come on, people. This Ryan Stanek ball to a random listener. That's right. Go sign up, hit the like button, check us out, tell your friends and family about us. Have a watch party. Watch it on YouTube. Watch it before the game. You know, we're gonna have fun. Wednesday, if you're there, the Red Sox game, let me know. Hit me up on socials, and I'd love to meet you.
And no bobbleheads injured in this podcast. So that's a good
Amen.
thing. So Monday, it's going to be Luis Garcia. Tuesday, it'll be Christian Javier. Wednesday, it'll be Jose Urquidy. So the Red Sox are not the same Red Sox that have dominated the Astros in the past, but I think this will still be a interesting matchup. And the Yankees lost, right?
Yes, the Yankees did lose. The Yankees
Okay.
did lose, and so what MLB record did they break today? Are you aware of one?
I think that they're talking about hit by like hitting Mariners hitters, but the
That's
actually,
not. Yeah,
I think the MLB record, I have it somewhere, was
it's the
21
it's the Orioles, right?
Tigers or something
The
against
Tigers.
the Indians or the Guardians now back in 2009 or 2008 or something. It was 21 or something like that. So Mariners fans are just coming at the Astros for saying, well, you've been throwing at our guys all year and we throw at your guy once. And this is
Yeah,
what
it was the
happened.
Tigers hit 21 Cleveland batters over 18 games. Holy crap.
Yeah. So
But the 15 hit by pitches Houston versus Seattle
it's a
matchup
team
is
record.
a Seattle record.
Yeah. Seattle record.
So
Yeah.
yeah, that Astros locker shared that with us. So
Yes.
hey guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We appreciate it. And for those that we met at the game, hey guys, keep rocking it, keep following us. We appreciate it.
All right. My name's Eric Huysman. He is Brett Chancey. We are the Locked On Astros podcast. Tune in to us, and we're going to hopefully be doing some instant analysis of any trades that go on between now and Tuesday. And yes, something will happen.